Safety, in my opinion, is the number one aphrodisiac for women who are raised female at birth. In order for them to truly feel like they can embrace their sexuality, they need to be able to feel safe enough to talk about it, right? So that is the second thing. How do I create safe spaces for this conversation to happen? If you can do that, then you're ready to do anything. The rest is just guidance.
Yeah, I mean, safety is absolutely it. Safety is the bee's knees. I mean, this is I think, across the board.
The bee's knees. You are too cute. You're just too cute.
So yeah, but safety is such I find it such a kind of reverby space, because it's something I keep coming back to in my own work. Trying to actually increase my sense of safety in the world, which is such a kind of core thing. And I think surpasses the sexual. I think it's sexual, it's relational, it's psychological, it's spiritual, it's body-based, it's many things. It's historical, and it's also part of being a human, so contending with fear in general feels like such a big thing, to me anyway. So, and I, as a psychotherapist, I'm always dealing with issues of safety, and I generate safety. That's one of the things that I do. I create bubbles of safety. Probably one of the reasons I value my work is because I value safety. It's not something I've always felt have access to, but it still remains somewhat a mystery to me. And can we talk a bit more deeply about that? Like, how do we generate a felt sense of safety?
First of all, I love this conversation. This is like my favorite conversation. That and submission. So I'm going to ask you / your clientele or the listeners a question. Have you ever made the statement, in my body? I'm not feeling in my body at the moment, or what's coming up for me in my body, or I'm trying to work within the framework of my body. If you've asked yourself, or if you've made that statement or asked yourself that question, here's what I'm going to ask you. How old were you when you separated from your body? Because you are your body, right? Or when did you start protecting yourself? When did you start protecting your body? When did it become a possession that you had to protect from others? Right? For me, this is the number one indication that at some point in time, a trauma happened where we separated, so that if someone grabbed the booty, the breast, the thing, they can say, it happened to my body, it didn't happen to me. For me, when safety is there, a person's able to create this unification where they and their body become one, and they can start processing the desire. Most of my clients will say, I was probably about 12, or when I started growing breasts, or the attractions start happening, people started kind of just play grabbing, play touching, whatever. It stopped being me, it started being my body. Mm. We need to facilitate that reunification, and that only happens in safe places. Okay? For me, we create a safe space, place, time, and a sacrifice. Those 4 things have to happen in order for a person to feel comfortable with performing singularity.
Wait, what's the sacrifice?
If I say, you know what, I know that you could be doing a podcast, working with clients, working out, doing yoga, but you chose this moment to be here with me, and I really appreciate your sacrifice. Right? That feels good. That feels like, oh, you see me. all of me. You understand that, yeah, I could be doing some work. I could be working on my website. I could be posting videos. I could be watching YouTube. I could be doing all those things right now, but I've chosen to be here with you. This is my choice. And I appreciate your choice because those things are sacrifices. No ritual happens without sacrifice. And that's what every intimate moment should be. Sex is a ritual. And it will bring about change, creativity. The energies will flow, merge, mingle, and we will create something special in this moment. And it's a result of your sacrifice that helps breathe life into this thing that we've done. To me, when a person can feel completely seen, understood, that singularity can take place where eye and body can fuse back into one and they feel safe enough to start exploring. Not just getting into it, but start exploring their sexual narrative.
Yeah, what I'm thinking of as you're talking is how it's kind of unavoidable that safety is a relational construct. We can't really feel. I mean, I think there are things that we can do for ourselves, in our relationship with ourselves and our relationship with our body and intentionality and meditation and all of this kind of stuff. I think there are things we can do, but this safety that we're talking about feels like, it comes from relationship. The unsafety comes from relationship and relatedness, and the repair comes from relatedness. And, that's scary too, because other people, right? Other people, unknown quantities. We're all these vulnerable, shifting things. We're not solid. We're not rocks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's funny, within the framework of safety, I find that the archetype of protector emerges more in female-bodied individuals than in men. Right?
Meaning?
Because the protector of this body never turns off. They never stop protecting themselves, right? From going to work to being in traffic, to going to the gas station, to always on high alert. I always have to protect me. When people talk about stepping into submission, what they're saying is, I just want to put protector down for a little while.
Yes.
And it's hard to do that. There was a guy during the Attica riots, they gave everybody an opportunity to say something. And this guy said, for 50 years, I've woken up and picked up this broom, and now I don't know how to let go of it. Right? He's just, I get it and I do this thing. I get it and I do this thing. From the time I'm conscious to the time I go to sleep, I do this thing. And that's what the protector archetype is for most female-bodied individuals or people who are raised female at birth. So for me, understanding that this is a necessity, that it can't be put down forever, but maybe there can be a little staycation in the bedroom, maybe a little in the living room, right? Maybe there's a designated space in the house where that person can just be open and vulnerable and sexy or not sexy, or wear makeup or not wear makeup, whatever feels good, whatever putting that down looks like. I, as a dominant, want to take on that responsibility to hold that space, to be their champion, right? To give them that moment, even if it's just for a few hours a day.
Oh my God, can we replicate you? I think we need some more good things around.